Law of karma. Every thought and every action that you take produces either good karma or bad karma. That is the law of the universe. So imagine every moment you have an input stream of karma coming in. In essence, we would say you are in bondage to your karma. Even if you have the greatest good karma in the world, you are still bounded by chains of gold. If you are the worst person in the world, you are bound by chains, but they are not of gold. Nevertheless, they are still chains that keep you in bondage. Lifetime after lifetime, this happens to a soul. We come into this world and we leave this world. We don't know how to get off this treadmill of life. How to stop the bondage of karma. We can go into more details about this. One must learn how to shred karma in every moment. Liberation comes from a being who has shredded all karma. Inner microscope. Imagine you could have a microscope that could go down to the quantum level. Mystics of old have said for thousands of years, karma is a subtle substance that covers the soul and makes it cloudy. You might think that this is crazy, but that's okay. If you have never studied quantum physics, you would say it's absolutely crazy. Yet quantum scientists understand that life is a total mystery. So imagine you have this substance covering your soul. You could say, the more dark substance you have, your life will be out of control. The mind will be like a mosquito that constantly bites you. Even if you have the greatest karma in the world, this substance still exists. One cannot see the forest from the trees. The wise man understands these basic principles and laws. He knows that he holds the key to the solution. He is the only one who can open the door. One understands, and only himself can shred his karma. The goal is to clear the dust. It's like spring cleaning, where you open up all the windows and let the fresh air come in. You take a dust rag and you clean all the surfaces in the house. You do your vacuuming and mop the floors. Within hours, the house is clean. The sinking boat. This is a story that I told many times. Once upon a time, I was explaining to a good friend of mine about the inner garden. I told him we had to tend the garden. We have to pull the weeds. We have to take out all the boulders, rocks, and pebbles. We have to water the vegetables. Instead, we have nothing but weeds, boulders, and rocks in our inner garden. When I said this, he said, "What inner garden?" That, my friend, is the problem. People don't know they have an inner garden to take care of. So imagine you are on a boat. The boat is taking in water, and you're about to drown if you don't do something about it. Unfortunately, most of humanity doesn't even know that the boat they are on is sinking. Mind you, in due time, you will leave this world. You won't be able to take anything with you. The wise man understands that the boat is sinking and takes responsibility to do something about it. In this lecture, I love the quote that you are the solution or you are the problem. It's up to you to change your life for the better. A wise man fixes the hole where the leak occurs. That's the first step. You can try to bail out all the water, but if you don't fix the hole, your actions are meaningless. This simple analogy will help you go a long ways if you understand this puzzle. Profound statement. This is a profound statement. A wise man understands the goal is to be in that state of bliss all the time. The goal is to have union with the soul. During the travels on this adventure in life, the wise man understood that for some reason one can't truly enter into that meditation state. He will use the art of contemplation to further rewire the circuits inside. He understands that both meditation and contemplation are the means to reach liberation. This is a wise man. Currently, humanity doesn't even have a clue. They are oblivious for the process of meditation and contemplation. Many people laugh at such ideas. They consider them crazy people and not part of society. The cycle goes on and on. Must be conscious at all times. I find it fascinating that in pursuing liberation of the soul, one must be conscious at all times. Most of the world truly isn't conscious at all. Our subconscious mind is running the show. I often said there's a poker game going on and the cards are stacked against you. To shred karma, one must contemplate it over and over. One must learn how to be directly in communication with your soul 24 hours a day. Contemplation is the key to helping one to understand that it is only by his will that he reaches his goal. Nobody will save him. There is no savior except for yourself. There are roadmaps that Jains use to reach liberation. A wanderer becomes a traveler. A traveler follows the road to the destination. Currently, the world at large is a wanderer. We wander aimlessly in life, looking for our home externally. It will never be found that way. Austerity. I find it quite fascinating that in the last 20 years or so, the scientific community has embraced many of the principles of austerity. Western scientists have studied the science of fasting for around 20 years now. They have seen the incredible benefits it has to the mind and body. Granted, this is not the average scientist, but those who love to think outside of the box. Science has embraced the concept of intermittent fasting. They recommend you don't eat anything for at least 16 hours before your last meal in the evening. They recommend that in the Jains lifestyle of not eating after 5 or 6 at night. They might even have a little bit more austerity to the actual Jains when they said don't eat anything until around 10 o'clock in the morning. Many people have incorporated this kind of austerity into one's life. It makes all the difference in the world. Many modern-day scientists and nutritionists also recommend that you eat plant-based food. Never eat anything in a box or that is factory made. There is an epidemic of pre-diabetics all around the world. I was told by many doctors that we could never beat diabetes. I thought that over and agreed with him based upon the person never wanting to change his lifestyle and thinking medicine will cure him. With simple lifestyle changes, I overcame this problem. I stared our way to fine-tune the guitar of life. Many of my friends with various illnesses refuse to change their lifestyles or diet. The wise man understands the simpler one's life is, the more he will be in harmony with his mind, body, and soul. The simpler the mind, the simpler one will be in life. We have gotten life backwards. We make it so complicated in everyday life. Most people are totally stressed out with life. They can't handle the workload. Life's all around them is falling apart. People are flaming one another on Facebook. The wise men of all have said to simplify your life. When one simplifies his life, the mind, body, and soul becomes in harmony with the universe and nature. This is our natural state, being in harmony. The odd thing is most of the world thinks that anyone who drives to be in harmony in a way is a freak. I have a concept that the city of Texas, Austin, Texas, has a little slogan. Be weird. This may seem offensive, but it's not. To be honest, many Westerners may think that the Jains are weird, yet I have seen the quite opposite of that. You are pursuing a pain of liberation that has been walked upon for thousands of years. The world that we live in, with all the chaos, is weird. I would choose to live on a road that has an incredible destination than to be a wanderer. The Western scientist is slowly beginning to embrace these principles in life. I am the problem and the solution. I love the following words that the speaker said. You are either the problem or you are the solution. How elegantly said. Imagine if you never took a shower. Can you imagine such a stench? You would say nobody in their right mind would want to do that. Yet we are at the most fundamental level in life. We never take the inner shower for our soul. We never clean our inner bodies. We are so oblivious when we live our lives externally. A wise man takes a daily shower. Mind you, the shower is not only for 5 minutes or so. The shower should be constantly going on 24 hours a day inside of you. This is a shower of bliss inside of you. The wise men of old understood this, and that is how they became liberated. The light of the soul knows how to take away all karma in one's life. The more one bathes in the shower of light, one will understand the meaning behind this. This is not a concept, my friend. Unfortunately, in the West, the majority of the world, people are oblivious to this. They think that one who perceives this are the crazy ones. Maybe, just maybe, it's the other way around. Happiness will never be found externally in this world. You may have all the money in the world, and yet will never truly be happy. That is a fact. The laws of the universe don't support that point of view. Everything, I mean everything, morphs and changes. I mean everything, including yourself and your life. Question. This was an incredible part of the session. He had one question for the audience. Usually they have around 10 questions to ask. Now I admit I have a complete lack of understanding of these terms. If no one says it in English, I will. If one says it in English, I will understand. But many of these terms are in Sanskrit, and I haven't a clue. Apparently, the gist of this question, which I admit I'm not 100% sure what the question is, because it's presented in two terms I know nothing about. Many people from the audience tried to answer the question. One gentleman said something profound. He said the stoppage of karma and simply just stopping reacting to any external event. The person who gave the lecture said, yes, this is the solution to the problem. My entire talk came down to just one sentence. You beautifully said that. That is the practical solution for humanity. To accomplish that is another story altogether. First, humanity must understand the reason why. The majority of mankind has no interest whatsoever to be in such a state. For some reason, they love the curveballs that are thrown to them in this world. It makes life exciting. Well, it makes life exciting if you like misery at your doorstep. The choice is up to you. Once again, you're either the problem or the solution. Just think this pertains to yourself and nobody else. By ignoring the basic facts of karma, and maybe even not being aware of them, you are the problem. Without knowing you are a problem, you will never do anything about it. The wandering will go on and on and on. When one understands that you are the problem, one begins to fix the problem and find the proper solution to it. The Jains have an incredible roadmap for one to embark on the journey of self-discovery. Only you can discover your true nature, yet one must be aware that there is something inside that exists for eternity. We will never find the answers by looking externally. We will go on living lifetime after lifetime to pursue something that exists inside of us.
The jeweler and the thief. Well, let's continue with this incredible story. The dragons, when they first saw the youngsters entering the cave many moons ago, weren't interested in the slightest in training man. You see, man was one of their major troubles. There's even a dragon slayer profession in the British Isles. Yet, at that same time, they could see the potential in these youngsters. As a matter of fact, they were more evolved than them when they were young. Back then, the dragons didn't even have a glimmer of light. So, they had an internal discussion amongst themselves. Do you think we can train them? Do you think they can change? You see, even in China and Tibet, war ruled the land. Anger was the norm. Mind you, these youngsters had a combination of light and darkness. They could see both sides of the coin. So the dragons decided to train them. Now their training wasn't like today. Today, children in school are bored. They are taught to use just memory. They are taught to remember facts. They are not taught to use your mind and think. The dragons are experts in this field. They are the master wizards of Hogwarts today. In fact, They are thousands of years ahead in development. Hogwarts teachers would be in nursery school. The dragons would have an advanced PhD studies in the universe. They were off the charts. The dragons had a unique style of teaching. You could say it was revolutionary today. They taught by using games, play, and fireside chats. The first game they taught was hide and seek. This was a very practical game. They had a series of talks about the universe. They were taught that the universe existed inside of them. Well, to be frank, that was completely over their heads. They couldn't even understand one word. So the dragons played a game of hide and seek. The dragons would hide. The youngsters closed their eyes and counted to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Ready or not, here we come. They would open their eyes, and all the dragons were gone. The dragons had rules they couldn't teach the kids. All the kids were completely shocked when they opened their eyes. All the dragons disappeared. They all crashed in surprise. As you know, dragons are quite large. They weigh thousands of pounds. This game went on for around 6 months or so. Finally, at one fireside chat, the dragons told this practical story. Imagine 2 young men walking down the road. They were headed to a town 5 days from their current destination. One of their men was a jeweler. The other man was a thief. The thief knew this man had a very precious jewel that he was carrying. As I said, both of them were going to the same town. They decided to travel together. They had a long journey ahead of them. Hours passed. They were quite tired and exhausted. Fortunately, there was a simple inn ahead of them. They both decided to spend the night there and share a room together. Both of them decided to have dinner together. The jeweler went first, and a few minutes later, the thief joined them. While the jeweler was holding the table for them, the thief was looking all over for the precious jewel. He was quite dumbfounded. He was the greatest thief in the land. They had dinner and went to bed immediately. They weren't in the mood to drink the ale and party into the night. Well, guess what? This went on for several days. Finally, they reached their destination. By then, the thief was totally confused. He thought, this is going to be an easy steal. He said to the jeweler, I'm a thief. As a matter of fact, I'm a king of the thieves. I knew you were carrying a precious jewel. Every night, I knew you hid. Every night, I knew you carried a precious jewel. I knew you hid the jewel inside of the room. Every night, I would search all over for it. I got quite frustrated when I couldn't find it. Where did you put it? I'm dying for an answer. The jeweler said, I knew you were a thief. I knew you wanted to steal the jewel. Every night I would hide it in a place you would never look. The thief said, and where is that? The jeweler said, under your own pillow. The thief knew he was outwitted and outsmarted. Well, the kids loved this story. They were well acquainted with thieves and jewelers. They went through their towns quite frequently. The dragon said, let's play a game of hide and seek again. This time, focus on your breath. Close your eyes. To their amazement, the dragons appeared inside of them. They couldn't believe it. How could all the dragons appear to them inside of their being? This was the starting point of their incredible adventures. Now, when they played hide and seek, they knew where to look. A single but necessary step took place. They knew it was both an inward and outward journey. The youngsters were thrilled. Each time they played the game, the youngsters knew where to look. They loved to play this game. All the first-time students had to go through the same baby steps that others went through. You see, this path is 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. You learn from your progress and your mistakes. Never give up.